Goncharov, a Martin Scorsese film starring Robert De Niro and Al Pacino from 1973. A movie about the mafia, about love, that has those underlying themes and motifs we expect from a Scorsese movie, especially the symbolic nature of the large clock, the presence of which dominates the film. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how have I never heard of this film before? It sounds like a classic along the lines of Goodfellas or Gangs of New York. That's how I felt waking up the other day, and my Tumblr dashboard was full of memes, aesthetic photo posts, and in-depth analyses of the film. It's quite likely for you this is your first time hearing about the movie, especially if you don't have a Tumblr. And the reason for that is, the film is entirely fabricated. Gontrov does not exist. You might be thinking to yourself, how does a fake film spread like wildfire, even catching the attention of various news websites? Well, I'm going to tell you how Gontrov broke the internet. But before we dive into Gontrov itself, I feel like it's important to give a brief review of how Tumblr works, because it's the culture of the website that allowed this phenomena to take hold. Tumblr is known for being the outcast of social media websites. Well, aside from the recent demolition of Twitter, but that isn't important to this conversation. Tumblr is one of the few social media sites that still retains the chaos and anonymity of the early internet. Most people use screen names for their blogs, posts are given to you in chronological order, there isn't really an algorithm. Tumblr users are notorious for being extremely difficult to market to. Most advertisers avoid the site like the plague, and the ads that do show up are interesting, to say the least. I won't get into the ads too much because I'm probably going to do a whole other video on Tumblr's marketing because it is wild. The key to the site is that you as an individual choose who to follow and what kind of content you want to see. It's not fed to you through an algorithm. Yes, there is a For You page that gives you suggestions based on things you've liked, but that page is barely used at best and downright broken at worst. Your main dashboard is curated through the blogs you follow. Maybe you're part of a fandom, or you're an artist, or you're into activism. You can choose to only see those things on your dash. Unless the mutual you've followed for a while for Our Flag Means Death memes suddenly gets really into BTS, and then suddenly your dash is covered in K-pop. Now, there is a phenomena that exists on Tumblr, where one idea will just take hold of the site. This has happened many times throughout the website's lifespan. Some notable events are the Ever Given getting stuck, November 5th and Destiel, and Dracula Daily. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, then congratulations, you're not on Tumblr. Let's take the Ever Given for example, because I think most people have at least heard of the situation, and the memes even bled onto other social media sites as well. In March of 2021, a large cargo ship known as the Ever Given got stuck in the Suez Canal, preventing other ships from passing through. This had a significant impact on trading between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, and this was a major concern for many countries. But on Tumblr, it was as if Christmas had come early. You can even find fanfiction for shipping the Ever Given with the Suez Canal if you really wanted to go look for that. I believe the reason for this is a mix of quarantine, fear for the state of the world at the time, and in America specifically, the country was just settling in after the election. Everybody on Tumblr decided that the Ever Given getting stuck was the funniest thing to happen in the history of forever, because there was nothing anyone could do. It was honestly a breath of fresh air to have a problem that there was literally nothing that could be done. All anybody could do was sit and watch until the situation was resolved. Now, in November of 2020, we've got another one, and it's Goncharov in 1973. This actually started with a post from August 21st, 2020, where someone ordered knockoff shoes online, But instead of a brand name, there was just an advertisement for a fake Martin Scorsese movie on the shoes. Why did they have a made-up movie promotion on them? I have no idea. But the original post came and went with little fanfare. It wasn't until this week when a Tumblr user known as Beelzebub made a movie poster for Gontrov that the meme took on a life of its own. And then the internet lore started to take shape. As more posts were made, specific details started to emerge that everyone just agreed were part of this non-existent movie. Think of this situation as the biggest improv yes and session you've ever seen. Kelly from Blame on Tumblr compiled a list of reoccurring lore that has been agreed upon by the Gontrov community. I'm not going to list everything, but I'll point out the most interesting ones in my opinion. Number 1. Gontrov, played by Robert De Niro, is married to Katya, played by Sybil Shepherd, but there are homoerotic undertones between Gontrov and Andrei the banker, who's played by Harvey Keitel. Number 2. It's a movie about Russians, but it's set in Naples, and it is an Italian mob film. 3. There's a character named Ice Pick Joe. 4. There was almost a 2003 remake of the movie starring Nicolas Cage. And 5. The movie was produced by Scorsese, but it was directed by Matteo Giwaheja 0715. This you can see on the original shoe post, and Tumblr has decided that Matteo's heritage is half Italian and half license plate due to his name. I have seen a few people mention how 30 years down the line, others may come across this false narrative the website has created and liken it to the Mandela effect. Maybe Goncharov 1973 will lead future generations to believe that this is a film from an alternate timeline, or maybe it's a lost piece of media that people can no longer find. In the end, Goncharov is just a product of a strange situation with shoes, internet memes, and the ability to take something absurd and turn it into something creative for the sake of just having fun and trying to make people laugh. And honestly, what's so bad about that? Okay guys, so this part is entirely unscripted, but I had to jump back on here. So as I was doing research and trying to find Gontrov posts to put in this video, I found this post by Dog Suffrage, who says they think they figured out what the Gontrov on the shoes was supposed to be. They said, after searching in depth on every possible term on these shoes, I ended up in the filmography of Italian producer Domenico Procesci. I'm very sorry if I said that wrong. Leading me to the film Gomorrah, which I noticed kinda looks like Gontrov. So I did some digging into Gomorrah, and it's about the Naples Mafia, which finally led me to find this image, the one I'm showing you on screen right now. Martin Scorsese is on it because he lended his name to it to boost its reception in the US. And you can see from this post underneath, Martin Scorsese supporting Gomorrah. Martin Scorsese will lend his name to IFC Films' US release of the Italian crime drama Gomorrah. And they said this post has haunted me for so long. I'm so glad I figured it out. And me too, Dog Suffrage. Thank you. So we actually found an explanation as to why there was... I mean, I still don't know why they were on shoes. But it looks like we have a lead onto what Gontrov may have actually intended to be. So yeah, I just had to throw this in at the end here. So we're one step closer into solving this mystery. But I don't think it'll ever be truly solved. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below so I can keep making content like this. And if there's any other interesting internet lore you want to see me cover, leave it in the comments down below so I can have an idea for another video. But thanks so much again, and I will see you in the next one.